What's up, everybody? It's T-Rob here with Hex Community Jobs. And today, man, I am stoked. I have got Steak and Apes with us, and he's going to talk NFT world with us, kind of what he's doing to bring on some using NFTs to kind of highlight the RH projects, and just stoked to talk to him. I see people jumping in right now, which is really cool. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and bring him in, and we'll get started on it. And this guy's a legend. And yeah, he made a really cool NFT for me today for this stream. So it was really cool. But anyway, Steak and Apes.
Hey, what's going on? How are you doing? So I'm
good.
I'm Zach, or Steak and Apes for short, you know. That's what everybody likes to refer to me in the Twitter spaces. So I've been doing, NFTs for about 6 months now. So, I took that negative externality that Richard Hart was yelling and screaming about him, and I turned it into a positive way to, promote his brand.
That's cool, man. That's a great idea. It's one that, you're trying to use a source that, is hot right now. Obviously NFTs, man, it's everywhere. And it's cool that you're kind of using the NFTs to pull people into this community. I think is just a really great idea. It looks like it's working, man. You've got a lot of followers and they're growing, and it's really cool.
Yeah, man. I mean, I've been doing it so I originally started, I actually probably had like 2 or 3 failed projects that I don't even like to mention, but I pretty much started and kicked it off during the PulseX sacrifice. I've been in Hex for about, almost 2 years now. And, I sat on the sidelines. I watched all the streamers and stuff. Motley, he onboarded me into Hex, but I had my Twitter, I had my stuff, but I just didn't do anything. And then I was like, how should I get involved? And then I saw Richard Hart just yelling and screaming about, NFTs and how they sucked, blah, 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 all this. So, of course, I dove in. I looked at them, I started going to their spaces, learning. I'm like, why are these people buying, these pictures and stuff like that? So they're very community driven projects. All right. So think of like meme coins, Shiba, MRI, whatever it may be. They have some of the strongest communities, so you got to think of NFTs more like the Hex community rather than the actual crypto there. It's all about branding and advertisement. And that's what they, pull on everybody's heartstrings with: branding and advertisement.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you and I were talking kind of before we came on screen about, people seeing these NFTs selling for, millions of dollars. And like you said, they don't understand that people spend millions of dollars just to market them, so it's like, did they really make money or did they break even? So, yeah, pretty cool. So we got some folks in here. What's up, Heinz Crypto? Yup, K. Heinz, you're blowing it up, man. Thank you. Godfather, what's up, man? Thank you for joining. Heinz is killing, man. Heinz, you're my fave right now, man. You're everywhere. I don't even know how to say this one. For
Texican. Okay, he's my artist. He's one of my tattoo artists. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
He got in he got into Hex during the PulseX sacrifice and stuff like that. And that's how he found me. He made some badass art for the community and put it out there. And then people put me in contact with him. Now me and him talk on the phone like for 2 hours every couple days.
Oh, that's awesome.
We turned into some pretty decent friends, and he's the one who did your artwork. He's done a lot of other pieces, He's just trying to, be helpful to the Hexican community, Like that's what he has to offer. He does tattoos as a full-time job, and then he does these NFTs on the side, for everybody to help boost morale, branding, and stuff like that for, Hexicans.
Oh, that's cool. Hey, you should drop your drop a link in, man. I'll throw it up here. The other thing is you could go over to hexcommunityjobs.com, which is a site I'm partnered in, and we just added today. I got to plug it a little bit if you don't mind, but we added today where you can actually add your resume or skills if you're, where people can go and search for that. So if they're looking for an artist, a graphic designer, they can go over there and look. So it's something we changed. My partner Anson worked on that, and he got it done really quick, and it's up and running. It's pretty cool. It's almost like a freelance, almost like you can go in there and put stuff in. Now if you're, whatever your skill is, people can go there and say, "Man, I need this," and it's cool.
Yeah,
it's almost utilized.
It's almost kind of like a Fiverr platform or something like that. I was actually just browsing your website while I was doing the Polygon promo for you and, stealing bits and pieces. And I just noticed that resume action. I'm getting ready to upload my resume to it, next.
Yeah.
I've been shilling your website every single time I get into Twitter space. I keep going in there and then people will be like, "Hey, I need this, I need that." And I'm like, "Did you post that on Hex Community Jobs?" And they're like, "What?" And I was like, "All right, I'll DM it over to you, man. Go there, post your website there." We really need to be targeting Ethereum devs, in my opinion, because if you're an Ethereum developer, you're already a Pulse chain developer and you don't even know it. So we really need to get a lot more devs because, these Hexicans, they're building, every single OG has their own project that they're doing right now. So we need to start targeting the Ethereum dev community and getting them to post their jobs and skills into the Hex community jobs.
Right. Yeah. Thank you for that plug, man. I mean, that was the reason why we started it, was because like everyone's like, "Man, I got a project, I need talent. And it's like, man, why don't we just bring it all under one roof? So that's really what we did. But so enough about Hex community jobs. I want to talk about you, man. So how did you get into this crazy NFT world? I mean, where did it come from? You just decided to do it one day or what?
Yeah, it was about 3:00 in the morning. I was scrolling through TikTok because I couldn't fall asleep. And it started out like I saw this one, TikTok, and it was like showing how to, make your own small business, do this, do that. I've been in the military for like 10 years now. I'm a Navy recruiter in Texas.
Thank you for your service, man.
Oh, thank you. But Motley, he's the one who onboarded me, and I saw what he's done with LVC News and how he's built his own community, like how he's doing projects and stuff like that. He's the one who onboarded me, into Hex. So after sitting there for a year, just watching the price go up and then down, I was like, man, what do I need to do to get involved, And that's when I decided, like, I probably failed like 3 times. I had like a couple other, I've rebranded like 2 or 3 different times, and then Steak and Apes, it just hit. It clicked. Everybody loved it,
Yeah.
So I've just been running with it. And, right now, so I'm in recruiting right now. So it's nothing but brand advertisement stuff. So you hear like the whole backstory on how to do it and stuff like that. So advertisement is like what we do a lot. So I'm like, you can utilize an NFT to advertise your platform, instead of going and sending out, 100 postcards or 100 newspapers or whatever it may be. You can literally put a description in an NFT. You can link your websites. You can have everything. Like whenever you pull up the Polygon promo one for your Hex community jobs, it has Hex community jobs in there, has your Twitter description, has your YouTube linked. So anytime somebody goes and, they NFT, they're going to look at it and be like, "Oh, let me check out Hex community jobs. Oh, I was looking for a developer. Man, now I can list it right here,
Yeah.
So essentially, it's just that bridging the gap. So a lot of Hexicans like to use that brute force method where they're just yelling, Hex is the way, stake your money, 555, do this, do that. I feel like that puts off a lot of people, So what I'm kind of doing is like subliminal messaging, like if I put Hex and Pulse Chain and Pulse X in front of enough people, they're going to start looking into it. I mean, that's how I learned about cryptos and stuff. I'll see it on the internet and they'll be like, "Oh shit, let me go check that out real quick."
Right.
Let me go check, it's just that little link, to funnel people into the Hearts ecosystem.
Yeah, nah, great idea, man. We just posted up your OpenSea collection here. If you guys haven't went over, man, go over and check this out, dude. It's got some really cool. I was showing my son earlier, who's 21. And he's just like, man, these are sick, like I hit you up like, man, how's he buy these things, So
Yeah.
he knows OpenSea, but he was on his phone, so for some reason it wouldn't let him do anything.
He was
So
on the app.
yeah,
He was on
so
the app.
yep. So he's gonna go home and try to buy one, I think. So anyway,
Awesome.
yeah, man. So the other thing I want to talk to you about is, you're looking, I mean, you work with artists, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you work with artists, you bring them kind of, I mean, obviously they're crazy skilled, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how are you getting people? Are they just, I mean, how are you connecting with these people?
Twitter Spaces, Telegram. You just got to get your name in front of as many people as possible. Like I go and talk in Twitter Spaces all the time. If you hop in a Twitter Space and don't immediately request the mic, like why are you even there? You need to hop up there and start asking your questions, making connections and stuff. So that's what I do. And they literally just see what I do. And then they start telling other people, like, pretty much everybody in the Twitter space, if somebody pops up in there and says anything NFT related, they're like, hey, go talk to Steak and Apes. They'll just DM him my name,
Yeah.
like go check him out, see what he's doing. So because like for a while it was almost, taboo for, anybody in the Hex to even utter the word NFT.
Right.
Like it
Right.
was so taboo, man. And
Yeah.
whenever people saw me doing it and stuff, they're like, what is this crazy guy doing right now? And then like from an outside perspective, they'll be like, oh, I hate this guy, blah, blah, blah. But once they actually hear me speak and hear what my message is, because like, once they hear that, they're like, oh, all right, that's cool. I understand that. I understand this. They start making connections to it. NFTs aren't a bad thing. The reason why Richard Hart didn't endorse them, in my opinion, is because if he would have bought a Bored Ape Yacht Club, guess who would have bought a Bored Ape Yacht Club also? Every single Hexagon OG in the freaking
Yeah.
world. I've never seen so many people like Louis Vuitton before in my life until Richard started repping it. Now you see every single Hexagon OG going out and buying Louis this, Louis that, designer this, designer that. Like, come on, guys. I wear gym shirts and like sweatpants. Like, I'm not going to go buy no Louis.
Oh yeah. It's funny though, man. I mean, not too long ago, he said that. He's like, man, I'm not buying this stuff to make all you guys go spend your hard earned money. He's more or less just trying to connect with people that, like that kind of stuff. But I'm with you, man. I'm in a t-shirt and a hat, and that's about it. I don't go for all that crazy stuff. But so, and I know this because you've told me, but you're a Texas guy as well right now, right? So
Right now. Yeah. I've been
yeah,
in Texas for the past 3 years.
cool, man, cool. Um, what's up, Max? Happy to see my security job posting is still featured on the front page. Yeah, I read through your post there, man. It sounds like you've got some mad skills. So if anybody's looking for, some security stuff, this is the guy right here. So go over to Hex Community Jobs and check out his posting and hire him, man. That's what we need to do.
Mm-hmm.
So
Because honestly, there's just something I want to mention real quick.
yeah.
Whenever I was giving out my NFTs and stuff, I probably DM'd about 20 different people. I'm not wearing a suit, man. It ain't happening. But I probably DM'd about, like 10, 15 different people, who said something about developer and stuff. And I was like, hey, I'm actually looking, for a Hexagon developer and stuff, because once I start doing my derivative collections and stuff like that on Pulse Chain, I don't want to lazy mint them. I want to actually, mint them through a Solidity contract to have on-site minting and stuff. So currently looking for a developer also, So, but like whenever you posted your stuff, I was like, man, this is awesome. Like now I don't have to send 10,000 DMs. Like once this page blows up, man, and everybody's on it, this is going to be a great resource to utilize.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, we definitely hope so. I mean, that's what it's designed for. It's just being a big asset to the community. We're not gonna. I mean, we're not. We didn't build it to get rich or anything. So
Yeah.
we just built it for an asset. But
Mm-hmm.
so tell me, like, I mean, I'm a dummy to NFTs, right? So tell me, like, how do you put an NFT together?
So, I mean, it really just depends on what kind of function you want to do. So, are you doing a one of one? Are you doing a derivative? Like, how are you doing it? So, currently, right now, I'm building my Genesis collection. These are going to be the original apes, and I plan on making derivatives of all of the features of these apes onto Pulse Chain. So, pretty much what you do is if you're doing a one of one, it's almost stupid to have your own minting contract, because all that minting contract really does is it has the code and has all the layers and stuff, and then it interjects it based off rarity and stuff like that. So if you're doing one of one pieces, just utilizing the OpenSea platform or Mintra whenever it comes out, stuff like that is perfectly fine. But if you're going to make a derivative collection of 10,000, it's very difficult to tokenize 10,000 NFTs. And that's why they use minting contracts and Solidity and stuff like that to do it for them. You can literally go and utilize a generator. All you got to do is Google, NFT generator, and you insert your layers into that program, and then you set what rarity you want. Like, say I wanted like this hat to only one person to have this hat, so I would set the rarity to 1. All right. So, but whenever it comes to the lazy mint feature, the first step that you have to do with OpenSea is you have to register your wallet. That's going to incur 2 gas transactions. Whenever I registered my wallet in October, gas was high. It cost me like $300 to register my wallet to be able to mint on OpenSea. And then the second gas transaction was like $40. I mean, right now it'll probably be around $100 to $200 to register your wallet. But after you do that, all you do is you simply upload your file, you type out your name, you select your rarity, you put your description in there, and then you click mint, and you're done. It's very easy.
Okay. So the process is you have somebody, you get with an artist and they build it for you, right?
Uh-huh.
And then from there you develop the NFT is basically how it works.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. So what's your future plans with this? I mean, I know you're trying to, I know you're going to bring it over to the Pulse. That's really what you're trying to do. But what's beyond that? I mean, what's the future look like for you? What are you trying to do with it?
So the future right now for me is pretty much I'm trying to bridge the gap from Ethereum to Pulse Chain. The largest consumer base right now for NFTs is on Ethereum OpenSea. So by design, I'm trying to recruit people from the left and, move them over to the right. So, but beyond that and stuff like that, we're doing 3D animation now. We're working on minting contracts. We're doing one of one. We're doing a comic book too. It's going to be called JPEG Junkie. Me and the Vortexican are working on that right now.
Nice.
He actually does some pop music, rap, and stuff like that. So we're going to have a soundtrack. Fully Croisoned. He's done a lot of artwork for the Hexakin community. Probably nobody even, not a lot of people know who he is, but he does not, like he did the rap for the Hex.com car. He's done stuff for, all the meetups and gatherings, and, hardly anybody, knows who he is. Mm-hmm. So he's actually doing 3D animation for us right now, and he's working on some of his own projects, but most of the people I'm working with right now, they also have full-time jobs. Right. So we're not all, Hex millionaires, and, we're out of the net loss for Pulse Chain and Pulse X right now. Come on. Main net,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm right there with you on that, man, for sure.
So, yeah, we definitely have a lot of plans. We want to start getting this comic book kind of set up. It'll be called the JPEG Junkie. Like, it's just going to be, crypto themed and stuff like that. And then definitely metaverse stuff is coming, but that's, maybe a year out or something like that. Once we get a solid foundation on Pulse Chain to build on, that's our game plan. If you look at any of the NFT projects, they all lead to the metaverse. They all lead to, that virtual video game where everybody can go and interact with.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely the future. If you're not studying the metaverse right now, you're going to be left behind. I mean, that's the truth. And some people like it, some people don't, and some people just don't get it. and but I tell my wife, man, we already live in the metaverse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
No,
no
I think
different.
Yeah, I think that's what Richard is trying to say. Like, it's for branding. They call it the metaverse for branding and advertisement and something. Because if they just said, the next video game's coming out, not very many people would have, been like, oh, video game, let's,
Right.
the usual video game people would have jumped on it. But all these nuanced people, they hear metaverse and they're like, what? VR? Oh my God, this is crazy. We've had this forever, guys. All right.
Yeah.
People have been
Yeah.
doing this stuff. The technology advances every single day. But, they said metaverse and then, Mark Zuckerberg came Facebook and shit. Like,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
it was like, all right, this is awesome, guys.
Right. Isn't it funny how it just takes one person, like, just to kind of like, hey, and everybody jumps on board.
Yeah.
Like, this is the greatest thing ever. Yeah, we've had it for 20 years, It's like,
Uh-huh.
so what I want to do, man, is I want to pull up your site here. Let me see if I can do this without leaving myself crazy. So bear with me just a second. We'll shift that. You see that okay?
Yep.
All right. So go ahead and talk me through it, man. What do we got here?
So I initially started out and everything, and I was trolling the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Like,
Yeah.
I was literally trolling them because Richard Hart and this Bored Ape, they were in a Twitter space together, just going at it back and forth, this and that. So then I just started trolling the Bored Ape Yacht Club, and that's how Steak and Apes kind of came about. But that's our logo. If you look, it's like a grill with a heart-shaped steak on it, and established 555 Heart Steak and Apes. So everybody says Steak and Apes for short, but it's Heart Steak and Apes, kind of the heart ecosystem. So if you start scrolling down, you have my Twitter link there. Right now we have 37 items, 14 owners, floor price is 0.1, and then 1.5 ETH has been the volume trade. So, 15 people have bought my NFTs after I yelled at them and told them to go buy Hex instead,
Yeah.
But I have a pretty awesome description, though. Heart Steak and Apes were developed with the ultimate cryptos in mind. These are the Genesis apes derived from Richard Hart's cryptos. The gaseous fumes of Ethereum polluted the crypto world, causing King Richard to fork ETH and be ETH 2.0 to market with its own features. With superior game theory and deflation on their side, Pulse Chain and PulseX emerged, solving all of our problems. To save yourself from yourself, staking was designed, and all of his followers achieved financial freedom. Like, if you don't get motivated to that, like, I don't know who else is going to.
Yeah. Yeah. So explain to me, for people that maybe don't understand NFTs or, OpenSea in general, is like floor price. Explain to me what that is.
That is the cheapest that somebody will sell one of their NFTs from that collection for.
Okay. That makes total sense.
Mm-hmm.
So let's look at some of these cool things. I mean, like, man, I was going through here and it's just really cool, man. I mean,
Thank you.
so is just different artists that does this, or
Yep.
just primary is one now, or what do you got?
So I've had like 3 or 4 different artists that I've just randomly, came into, and then they make some custom pieces and stuff like that. The one who's stuck by me the longest has been the Vortexican,
Cool.
because most of these artists, they have full-time jobs and stuff. So like they'll be real motivated to do it for like a couple weeks, and then I won't hear from them again. But
Yeah.
the Vortexican, he's definitely stuck with me the longest. Fully Croizen actually does that 3D ape there. We call him Steak, the one on the left with
This
the
one here.
ELE. Yeah.
Okay.
So he does all the 3D animation and the rigging for him. He also has a full-time job. So I get a different piece from him about once every, 2-3 weeks or something like that, whenever he has some free time. That one was from Lockheed Galaxy. He's a tattoo artist in Pennsylvania. Haven't talked to him in a little while. I need to catch back up with.
Yeah. So what's your, like, out of all these, I mean, what's your hottest? I mean, what do you? I mean, is it just vary? Like there's old
It
rags, huh?
varies. So usually I go on somebody's platform and, we make them a custom piece or something like that. And then I, I just try to bring them followers, I just promote them like, hey, come over here, guys. And then
Right.
it starts bridging that gap between the NFT people and, their user base into our user base.
Yeah. So I recognize this guy right here.
Yo, I think he looks a little bit better now.
Oh, you ain't kidding, man. My wife even said that. So tell me, like, I know you've mentioned it. Tell me how you talked about like a giveaway type thing. How do you typically do that? Because I see that's kind of how I found you, man. I think I saw that. I think it was on Rags or something.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, who is this guy? And then I was intrigued by what you were doing.
Uh,
So tell me how, because
so
it's a
pretty
great idea.
much
I mean, you're
what I
marketing
do
yourself.
is whenever I do these, I have my ETH collection. All right. So, my artists put in a lot of work and stuff like that. And the gold standard for NFTs right now is Ethereum. So I'll mint one on Ethereum for 0.1. So if anybody, wants to support my artists and stuff like that, 50% goes to my artist, 50% goes to my the Steak and Apes business, and I just convert it into Hex and I leave it there, because we're building a treasury behind this business,
Mm-hmm.
But pretty much, wait, where was I at? Oh, so after that, I mint 100 more of them on Polygon. You can mass mint on Polygon, but Polygon sucks. It crashes every 2 seconds and stuff like that. Like, win Pulse Chain, please. You're going to make my job so much easier. But right now, I utilize Polygon because it's a gas-free marketplace. So I'll mint 100 copies on there. And then I'll just start yelling at Twitter, hey, subscribe to, Hex Community Jobs, free NFT, drop your address. And it's just rounding the troops up, man. You're just bridging that gap.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a cool idea, man. I mean, like you're branding yourself and helping people out like me as well, So it's really a great idea. Hey, my partner Anson just jumped on there. Anson is the if you need a web designer, that's the guy. He built Hex Community Jobs. Dude's sharp and great guy. So howdy, Anson. Hope you're doing good, man. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, I might have to hire Anson eventually. I just bought the domain steakandapes.nft on Unstoppable Domains. So definitely looking for a web designer over there. I might, once I get some money, some more money, throw him some to go help me out.
Yeah, hit him up, man. He definitely does great work. Yeah. So, how do you see, like, I know you've kind of explained this already, but what do you see that's going to be different when you move over to Pulse Chain? What are you seeing there? I mean, obviously, gas fees are a lot cheaper. Are you thinking that like, man, NFTs are just going to fly off the shelves because it costs less, or what's your thinking on that?
No, not at all. So unless the user base from the Ethereum decides to move their community over to Pulse Chain, those NFTs are essentially useless in my opinion. That's my personal opinion. Could be different. I don't know what's going to happen. But since they're such community based, I don't think they are going to that copy is going to be worth anything if the community doesn't move over, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody always talks about, oh, cheap gas fees, this, that, blah, blah, blah. You can go on Solana right now. You can go on BNB. You can go on ADA, AVAX. You can go on all these other networks. And guess what? Gas fees are cheap. You
Yeah.
don't have to worry about that issue. So I was actually talking to Richard Hart in a Twitter space probably about a week or two ago. Anytime I see him in a Twitter space, I instantly hit the mic, go up there and try to ask him a question. So because I saw a lot of Hexicans, they're like, oh, NFTs are going to take off, blah, blah, blah on Pulse Chain because, gas is going to be so much cheap. No, not at all. All right.
Yeah.
You have to, and I asked him, I was like, so what do I sell people? Because if you look at the top 100 NFTs right now, they're all Ethereum based. Nobody obviously cares about gas fees. They're still buying them. Nobody's buying Polygon. Nobody's buying, these other networks.
Mm-hmm.
So I was talking to him, and he's like, this is why they're going to buy on Pulse Chain, because it's the same exact code. So all these developers that, go over to Solana, guess what? They got to learn a new code, a new coding language, and all of this new development techniques. You have to do that same thing with Polygon. You got to do that same thing with AVAX. You got to do that same thing with BNB. So from a development aspect, you're like, if you're a Ethereum developer, you're going to be a Pulse Chain developer at a fraction of the price. So what we need to start doing is recruiting those developers, the new ones and stuff who've had projects that were burnt out by gas fees over into, Pulse Chain. Because you got to think, everybody's talking about interoperability and stuff like that and functionality. So a lot of people are saying promises that aren't actually hard coded. So whenever you need to do a staking feature, guess what? That's a gas transaction. Whenever you want to do this, that's a gas transaction. Whenever you start adding functionality into smart contracts and stuff like that, it's a gas fee. So I think blockchain development games are going to be very big on Pulse Chain, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And so that's what we really need to look at is, developing blockchaining, because I think it's going to be amazing over there on Pulse Chain. Same exact code you can run. All you got to do is put the front end up, after the fork. Once you put the front end up, then you're good to go.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's cool. I mean, yeah, I can see what you're saying. And, you think like, everybody's going to go over there, but it's probably no different. Like you said that it's already platforms out there that, it's pennies to do things on. So, how do you, you mentioned earlier too about grabbing those developers, that are maybe got burnt out on Ethereum. How do we grab them and bring them over? Is it just more of kind of what's happening now as the community gets bigger and bigger, we're reaching more and more people? Or,
exactly.
do you have ideas behind that, or what are you thinking on that?
Oh, I have great ideas behind it. And it's exactly how I recruit people to, come visit my page, like, and follow me. You got to bust out of that echo chamber, because I'm sure I was in it before. I was in that hex echo chamber. When you go on Twitter and every single post says hex, 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 hex. Yeah. I was in that echo chamber for quite some time. And whenever I decided to branch out and stuff like that and doing the NFT stuff, now none of my feed says hex. It says NFT this, NFT that. So all you have to do is change your echo chamber on Twitter, switch up the algorithm, start looking for developers. There's full-on pages of developers. There's Twitter spaces with developers. What I usually do is, once every couple of days, I try to go into a random space that says NFT shill in it. If you go to one of those random Twitter spaces, they'll give you 3 minutes to shill your project. So pop up there. You don't want to go to the 1,000, the ones with thousands and thousands. You'll never get on stage. I go to the ones that have about 50 to 100 on them, and then I'll pop in there, request the mic. And, I'll come up there, they'll give me my 3 minutes, and I'll be like, hey, what's going on, guys? This is, Staking Apes here. I'm getting ready to launch my NFT project on Pulse Chain. It's going to be the world's largest airdrop. It's a new layer 1. And that, I'm just piquing people's interest right there. They're hearing all of these phrases, but they're not getting it, yelled and screamed at them. They're getting it from a different aspect. So every single time I come out of one of those Twitter spaces, I got 5 people in my DMs. They're like, what's Pulse Chain? What's this? What's that? And I'm like, oh, this new, and I just send them the websites, show them the decks, and I'm just bridging that gap, If we have more people out there that, get out of the hex echo chamber and actively recruit in these other, niches in the crypto community, that's the way we're going to keep going and building,
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because I was talking to my good buddy Kinetics about that. And he's been in a long time now, but he sees that we almost get blinders. We get inside this community when we forget how to connect with people outside.
Yeah.
So when Anson and I built the site Hex Community Jobs, that was one thing we thought about. This is going to be a way for us to reach people that probably have no clue of our age or what that's going on,
Uh-huh.
that we can pull in more in a soft way of not an aggressive, hey, you got to look at this, but
Yeah.
pulling in people like, man, I have a skill or I'm looking for a job. And then I go,
Mhm.
what the heck's this hex thing? And then it's just a lead in. And that's one of the parts of our site that we built it on, is like, that's why we have what is hex. And
Yeah, I read that today.
where some people, Anson wrote a great article, and Anson has a great blog that he should throw up on here if he's still here. But a lot of people, they'll probably see Hex Community Jobs from outside and go, I have no earthly idea what that is, but I'm looking for a job, So
Yeah, exactly.
so
Exactly.
that's our hope on that anyway.
Yeah, it's those little like subliminal messages that are leading people here, because not everybody wants to take all their money and then buy Hex and then sacrifice for 15 years. I literally, when I first got into Hex, I couldn't stand Richard Hart. I thought
Yeah.
I couldn't stand anything about him. I tell this to everybody, like my whole office, we all got into Hex together and stuff like that. And they're listening to every word of Richard Hart. And I'm like, oh my God, shut that guy off. I can't stand him. If I see another Louis bag, I'm gonna, But like as we went on and I was exploring other facets of the crypto community and stuff, and then like, Hex started performing very well. So then I started really listening to them, and then I started, listening to every word. Now I can, talk around NFTs, cryptos, layer ones, dexes more than, all my friends.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the interoperability and stuff, like it's crazy.
Right. Yeah. The funny thing is, the words we use inside of, like, when you're in the crypto world, people outside look at you like, I don't even know what that means, bro. It's like, so I have to, not that you have to dumb it down a little bit. It's more what I say, but like, I'm not like, I'm new to crypto. I was in it a long time ago, lost my tail on it, got out of it, like, man, I'm never getting crypto again. And then Kinetics is like, man, you got to get back in here. And so I jumped in, but I haven't been in that long. But yeah, it's cool. It's, I'm learning every day, man. It's, if you're not learning, you're not doing anything, I guess. But anyway, so what do we want to talk about next here? You want to let's see who we got. We got Anson, we got Yep K. What's up?
I wouldn't mind going over a little bit of security for NFTs and stuff like that.
Yeah, sounds great, man.
All right, guys. So I was trying to do this last night in the Sandstorm space, but Keith kept, floating off into the metaverse. He had this crazy background or something like that. So I couldn't really gauge anybody's attention because everybody was, just hanging out and stuff. But do you know what dusting attacks are? Like in
I
crypto?
don't.
So pretty much a dust attack is whenever, somebody sends you some crypto without you knowing, and as soon as you go to make a transaction on it, it empties your entire wallet. So you don't really see these too often because you may not have that token added to your MetaMask. So you probably have thousands of tokens in your MetaMask that you never even see, and you don't even know that they're there. But if you were to go and interact with them, as soon as you tried selling it or something like that, it would literally trigger that transaction and it would drain your entire wallet. So with NFTs and with OpenSea's front end, it does display all of these NFTs and stuff like that in your hidden section. So as soon as you go and connect your wallet, you'll be like, oh, somebody sent me an NFT. Awesome. Yeah. Oh, looks like one of them just sold for 0.1. Let me try and sell it real quick. You'll go to sell it, and then you'll trigger that transaction, and then it'll empty your wallet.
Gotcha.
So I always preach security in the NFT space. You need to have a hot wallet that maybe just has a little ETH in there, none of your bags, So whenever you do go to connect to these dApps, these minting apps and stuff like that, or, these random places that NFTs send you, they send you everywhere around the internet. Make sure you have a hot wallet with not a lot of funds in it, because I would hate for somebody, oh, awesome, just learned about it, and then they just lost all their Hex stakes because they went and, played around with some stuff that was a scam. So as soon as you connect to the front end OpenSea, you can see these. They're visible. So everybody's like, oh, guess what? This is the project that's getting ready to come out. No, That's not the
Yeah.
project that's getting ready to come out. That's the scam that's getting ready to steal all your money. So please, if you have random NFTs in your wallet and you see, do not try selling them. All right. They make it look awesome where you're like, oh man, I got this for free. I'm going to sell it and make $1 million. No, you're going to get all of your money stolen.
Gotcha. Well, that's good advice, man. I mean, um, it's always good advice to have multiple wallets as well. I mean, man, have more than one wallet. And I mean, it's like having a wallet in your back pocket that has all your money that you have in the world. It just doesn't make any sense. So,
No, not at all.
yeah, I mean, definitely want to take some security because there's a lot of crazy stuff that goes on. But one thing I wanted to do is, since we were talking about Hex Community Jobs, I wanted to pull it up and just kind of show your posting of what you were looking at. So bear with me just a second. Get that pulled up here. All right. All righty. So we've got some cool stuff. I'll talk about it real quick. Is we added this job seekers and employers. So now if you want to post your skills, people can come over and find you, which is really cool. Thank you, Anson, for doing that. But here's some highlighted jobs. And then I always want to push PulseCon as well because, yeah, we're affiliated with them. And let's see, where are you at, man? Where are you at? Right here on the bottom. So artists and graphic designers. And I want to click on this, just kind of see, what you have here. So let's talk about this. I mean, you're looking for Hexagon artists and graphic designers. I know you talked about ongoing, I mean, it sounds like you're really growing, the hearts, steak, and apes. So how are you, I mean, I'll just ask it directly. How do you pay, your artists? Or is it just like how much you want to design this, or what are you looking for on that?
Yeah, it's really based on them, and then we work it out. What we usually have been doing is we'll make that one ETH piece for like 0.1, and we'll list it for 0.1. We'll sell that piece on Ethereum, and then have the promo package, and then we split it 50%. So it's like $150 a piece, that they're making. It usually, takes a couple hours, depending on how intrinsic the piece is, So it's like $150 a piece,
Yeah. Okay.
But it really just depends on who my artists want to get their work in front of. Since I'm not the artist, I'm more the business side and the tokenizing and, talking about NFTs, like the knowledge base behind the project. It's what most of my artists do is they sit on YouTube and they just watch all of these hexagons and stuff. And they'll be like, oh, I really like them. I want to make, a piece for them and I want to show them my work and stuff like that. So we're going on with Crypto Stylist tomorrow. Like,
nice.
the Vortexican, he loves what she does and everything like that. And he's like, oh, I'm going to make her some awesome art. And he's like, hey, I want you to get in front of her, set up a stream or something like that. So, I want to show her my work. So, yeah, as soon as he said that, I reached out to her and we have a stream tomorrow at 1.
Oh, nice, man. That's awesome. About to get over and 1 o'clock tomorrow, man. So if anybody wants to go apply for this job, and go to hexcommunityjobs.com, looking for some artists and graphic designers that are wanting to get into the kind of the design and NFT world, which is, man, it's the up and coming thing. So I'm sure there's a lot of folks that want to be involved in that. So that's really cool. All right, let's get back over.
We have a lot of awesome graphic designers and stuff. And Crypto Kool-Aid, have you heard of him?
Yeah.
So Crypto Kool-Aid, he has what's called Kool-Aid University on Telegram. It probably has about 20 different graphic designers, 2D, 3D animation riggers and stuff like that. And they're all just in there collaborating. It's invite only. So if you are a graphic designer or something like that and want to, become, just resources and stuff like that, it's a very small community, just I'll get you an invite. I'll introduce you. He works for like Pixar and does like animation, like on a very large, he has an amazing resume too, everything that I've read about him. And
Oh,
he's a
that's
great
cool.
guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just got the Vortexican in there yesterday. He's now collabing with other artists. Like everybody thinks you can do this by yourself. You cannot. Like you can't do the branding, you can't do the advertisement, you can't do the art, and you like
No.
it's a inclusion of so many people that you need to be able to have a successful project.
Yeah. You're only as good as the people around you. I mean, any business,
Exactly.
anything you do, I mean, put better people around you for sure. What up, Crypto Gains Club 369? Thanks for smash the likes, share, retweet. Thank you. Thank you. And then there he is.
If you want to
Guy.
bring up Yupk's NFT comments,
Got it,
Yupk.
man. Yeah, let's get up there.
So yeah, if you want to click on that one, he said, so like the NFTs I gotten on OpenSea, best to just let it chill on their site's wallet. They are in your wallet. All right. You do not have a site wallet on OpenSea. All OpenSea is the front end for the display. All right. So that NFT is in your wallet currently. All right. The ones that you got from me, they're from a verified contract. There's nothing messing around. If you go into the actual I think it's description or details of the NFT, you can actually pull it up on Polyscan. You can pull it up on Etherscan, and then you can read the description, see that it's audited, see that it's from the OpenSea contract and stuff like that. It wasn't messed with. There's no scammy stuff going on with it. So yes, those are in your wallet. They're not on an OpenSea wallet or anything. They're just the front end that you can display it on. OpenSea the Ethereum ones just became available to view on your MetaMask mobile, but you still cannot view your Polygon ones in your MetaMask mobile. But you got to think all NFT really is a serial number. It's a couple serial numbers linking you to IFPS. So yes, you have it and stuff like that, but like all it is numbers. There doesn't need to be a picture there.
Yeah. So with that, with you saying that, and I don't want to keep you too long tonight, but so what stops people? Because I mean, this is kind of the thing that Richard always says is like, hey, just go right click and copy,
Mm-hmm.
and you've got the picture. So talk to me about that. I mean, what does that mean to you as someone that's developing NFTs? What Explain the reasoning that you just talked about, the serial number, that sort of thing. So what stops people from just right clicking and taking it and running with
Nothing.
it? Nothing.
Nothing.
Okay.
Please go to my collection, right click, save it. Post it as your PFP and brand all of Twitter with Steak and Apes. All right. The more that you have it out there, the more that my message gets spread and the more that people finds me. Please go do it. It doesn't stop you at all. So a lot of people like to think that whenever you mention non-fungible token, they got on this interpretation that the artwork was non-fungible. No, it's not the artwork that is not non-fungible. It's that unique address that gets deployed on the blockchain that is non-fungible because that unique address will never be deployed again. So you know what a certificate of authenticity is?
Right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
do.
So the blockchain is our certificate of authenticity saying that that was from, that creator's address. So instead of, having some random letter, like, have you ever seen Pawn Stars before?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I make this joke all the time. I'm like, yo, I can't wait to go to Vegas and, have Chum Lee buy my NFTs and blah, 10 years or something like that. But, you won't need an expert to come in, and say, all right, that, went there, if you have a basic understanding of the block explorer and how to navigate through blockchain technology, you'll be able to easily verify, all right, it was from this creator's wallet, he was linked here, that matched him up there, and bam, this is an original piece. This wasn't a right click and save from a scam posting the same exact thing.
Gotcha. Yep, Kay, thank you for clarification. Thank you for generosity with giveaways, never selling them. I value them. That's great. That's great, man.
No, thank you. Thank you.
And then we have got, who we got here? Steak and Eights is given tree of NFTs. Crypto Games Club 369. Thanks for being here, man. What we got? Copy and paste.
Saturate the market with everything.
Hey, yeah. I think some people would say that, and probably other people would be like, don't copy and paste my stuff, so anyway.
Oh, yeah, you'll have those people.
Yeah.
But I mean, so whenever you look at a community right now, how do you know somebody's in the Hex community on Twitter other than every single one of their names says Hex this, Hex that?
Right.
It's by their profile picture. It's by their branding,
Yep.
So that's why I have an ape as my profile picture, so I blend in with the NFT community,
Yeah.
But that subliminal messaging behind it, they'll be like, "Oh, what's those banana looking? Your design, it looks like bananas." Like, we're thinking of some creative stuff to actually do with it.
Oh man.
But
yeah.
it's just that subliminal messaging behind it, and they'll be like, "Oh, what's a hex, at the top," and just start looking into it and trying to figure out what's behind that piece of artwork. Yes,
Yeah.
guerrilla marketing.
Guerrilla marketing. That's perfect, man. That is exactly it right there. So now how did the apes thing come together? Because I mean, where did that come from?
I don't know. I don't even know how it got popular. I mean, I started looking at Bored Apes when they're worth like 20, 30K. And
Right.
the next thing I know, they're at fucking $200,000, $300,000 a piece. Jesus Christ. So the way I look at it is, it's kind of, have you ever been to a country club or something like that?
Oh yeah. Yep.
That's their country club. That's to get into their country club, you need $200,000. Then you can go party on a yacht club.
Yeah.
You'll see some country clubs, it only costs, $10 or, 20 grand to get into it. But, to be a part of their club, you need 300 grand. So
Yeah.
It's going to attract more of those high level clientele, kind of like how Richard only buys Louis and, stuff like that. It attracts the high clientele.
For sure, man. Yeah. I mean, the thing is to me, that's kind of like the NFTs, I see that as the future. It's a membership driven, like there's a restaurant, I think it's in New York or something. And you buy a table, and then you can rent the table, and you own a part of it. I just see, I think that's probably the future of NFTs. I mean, obviously people like art. I get that. But they're going to be both, I mean, so I think it's really cool. Man, I tell you, I don't know what else to talk about here. I mean, we're about in an hour, and
I mean, we covered a lot, man.
Yeah, man, you did. You covered a lot more than I ever dreamed we would. I mean, I love that you threw in the security stuff. I think that's such a big deal, man. I mean, I hate seeing people getting taken, because
I do too.
It gives crypto a really bad name, and that's the reason why some people I am not getting into crypto,
But if anytime you see massive economical energy moving in one direction, that's where the scams go and follow. So it's not that, it's crypto and, there's nothing but scams. There's scams in traditional finance. We've had pyramid schemes. We've had Ponzi. We've had everything that you experience in crypto, you can experience in traditional finance. So whenever people say that, I'm like, yes, just worry about your security. You do this, you do that. If you would have fell for something in traditional finance, guess what? You would have fell for 10 of them in crypto.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the banking system in general is, well, let's not get going on that, but
payday loans, man, payday loans, cash advance. Come
on,
man, those are scams too.
Oh man, bad. Yeah. Yep. Okay. I'll let you comment on that one?
I would actually have to look into that, Yupk. If you want to DM me on Twitter and send me some links and stuff like that, maybe it's something we could work out. Maybe get one of my artists on it or something if that's like a piece that you specifically want. We definitely make a lot of custom pieces all the time.
Cool, man. So you just heard it right here. He can do custom pieces because he did one of my ugly mug, and that that took some work right there. Now,
Yeah.
I got it up in the corner here. I don't know if anybody can see it, but I'll share it too, and I'll put all your links and stuff in the video where people can go and check it out. But man, thanks so much for being on board, dude. I'm gonna have you back for sure anytime, man.
Definitely.
I'm actually going to be over on the DS network. Just you're the first guy that knows. So
all right,
yeah.
awesome.
So I'm moving over there on Wednesday nights. Haven't even released or announced it yet, but so I'll definitely
That's a good place to be. That's a good
yeah,
place.
yeah. I'll definitely have you over there, and we'll talk more about NFTs. And thank you for using our website, man, Hex Community Jobs, and plugging it. It means everything, and we hope that everybody in the community will use it, and just go and add your skills, because I'm like you, man. I work a normal job, and I'm always looking for opportunities, and other people are as well. So, dude, thanks so much, man. Anything else you want to say, and to all your big fans?
Yeah, everybody, hey, go check out my Twitter. I'm giving away 100 of those Polygon promos for Rob here. So, hit my Twitter up, blow it up. I got 100 of them. Hopefully we get you over 100 subscribers. And whenever it comes to everybody building on Pulse Chain, look at the project. They're not all going to be Richard Hart projects, but look at them, give them respect. You don't have to invest if you don't want to. All right. Jeez.
Yeah.
Sick and tired of the FUD.
Yeah. That's the only last thing I'd kind of want to say is that, like, we're a community and we all need to come together. And, I'm sure you're seeing it too. There's this headbutting that's going on. That's like, it's silly. I love what you just said, though, because I think everyone sees projects and are like, oh, I've got to throw money in this, and they don't do their research, So yeah, man, do your research, and, make sure you're safe with buying these awesome NFTs, man. Thanks so much, Steak and Apes, man. Have a great evening, bro. Appreciate you.
Hey, you too. See you later.
All right, man. That was Steak and Apes. Make sure you go over and support him. I'll add all his links in this video. Super, super great guy. He's using some talented artists, and I love what he's doing and trying to, use the NFTs to bring people into the RH system. And go support the guy. Very knowledgeable. You guys have a great evening, and thank you so much.